make it. You have to make it. You've made it this far.
I don't know that I want to make it.
You have to. If not for yourself, then hold on for us, Don.
I'm ready to die.
Well, then you won't have to do a thing. We'll do it for you.
This week on ReviewsForTheRestOfUs.com, a movie that kind of feels like you died for 90 minutes, sadly. We're talking about 90 Minutes in Heaven. How is it? Where should you see it? And who should you see it with? Well, like I mentioned, 90 Minutes in Heaven is unfortunately a little bit of a snoozer. Now, it's a movie that's based on a true story of a guy named Pastor Don Piper who died in a tragic car accident in the late 90s, and he was pronounced dead on the scene. No pulse, no nothing. 90 minutes later, this guy comes back to life. Now, that in and of itself is a pretty fascinating premise. The problem is, the movie doesn't spend a lot of time on that part of it. The movie spends a lot of time on the hospital part of it. So let's talk about how it is. Well, it's not just slow and a sleeper, it's too long. This movie is 2 hours long, and they probably could have gotten it done in an hour 15. It's almost like Lifetime movie length, to be honest with you. So as far as where you should see it, I honestly suggest you see it at home. And that's hard for me to say. As a person of faith, I love it when movies are made about faith and believing in God and all that. And this guy in this movie, he believes he was in heaven for 90 minutes. But the movie's so slow, and over half of this movie is in the hospital, and it's just not that great. Even Hayden Christensen, who played like Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars, and Kate Bosworth, they're both in this, and they really don't save it. They just don't. So, you know, who should you see it with if you're going to see it at all? This is safe for almost anybody. I mean, it is a little bit gruesome with some of the accident scenes. It's rated PG-13. That might be a little rough. You could probably get away with younger kids within this movie. There's not really any swearing or sexuality stuff. It's just a little bit gory, and obviously the faith issue is tackled a lot in this movie. Might even be a good movie to start a conversation with a believing friend and you're not a believer, or vice versa, about what happens when you die. So if you enjoyed this review, please share it with your friends. If you have any thoughts, maybe your own review, hit us up with that as well. Make sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube so you get upcoming reviews. And if this movie really isn't your speed, you're looking for something a little different, I recommend you check out our review of either A Walk in the Woods or The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Now you can click right here and watch either of those right now. And we'll see you next week on ReviewsForTheRestOfUs.com, reviews for movie fans by movie fans.